up a seat at the bar to join us for another episode of McAnally's Pubcast, a podcast exploring the fun and fantastical mind of Jim Butcher's The Dresden Files series. Hosts Tansenn, Jes, and Maggie bring you another round of literary analysis on this immense, immersive, and colorful environment inhabited by Harry Dresden, the world's only licensed private investigator and professional wizard. Join an active and engaged community of new and die-hard dedicated fans focused on the fabulous themes, theories, characters, context, lore, and more. This is McAnally's Dresden Files Pubcast by Free Flow Rambling. Conjure by it at your own risk.
Welcome to the McAnally's Pubcast, brought to you by Free Flow Rambling. This is episode 18.6. With the real dog temple, please back up, where we are covering the novel White Knight. My name is Tansenn, and I'm joined by Maggie.
Hello.
And Jes.
Short shrift means little or no attention or thought or quick work. In religious use, it refers to barely adequate time for confession before execution.
Sounds like ADHD to me.
Sounds like the kind of detective Elaine is.
Bazinga!
Thank you to our Patreon subscribers for your generous support. It's people like you who help us do what we do. If you're not yet a Patreon subscriber, sign up today and get a fuck ton of bonus content, kick-ass merch, behind-the-scenes outtakes, and more. Sign up today at patreon.com/freeflowrambling. Chapter 12. Mouse uses his temple dog bark to awaken the residents of Anna's apartment. Harry and Elaine help evacuate the building.
So apparently, as always, whenever a fire starts, the lights all go out.
What do you need light for? The fire will keep you...
Except it's not up to this floor yet. So he says light, and Elaine quickly whips out hers, and he said he crossed by its light. So are you just randomly, were you not lighting your own amulet at the same time? Because it's not even a question. It's not like, ooh, light. And you're just like, light. And she's like, okay, so I don't know. It's just funny-ish because normally he's the one who always whips
They're
out.
a team, okay? Gosh.
I guess that's it. He's like, I don't need to whip mine out right now. Elaine, you do the light for once. I'm always doing the light. Let's see some contrast. What color is yours? Mine always comes up blue.
Yeah.
Elaine's is green. Ish. It hasn't got to them yet. What if there's somebody waiting in the hall? Oh my gosh, though, everybody's under a sleep spell. Nobody is waking up. Oh my goodness, what do we do?
Mouse is very, 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 very cool. Just a couple of chapters ago when Murphy got the drop on Molly, Murphy is so cool. Mouse is so cool. Being able to do this baritone, fucking whatever you call it, deep fucking set bark to shake the whole apartment building in 3 steady bursts and get everybody up and on their feet calmly focused.
I was going to say, that's the impressive part. So it's interesting. So I get, okay, sure, do the super bark and wake everybody up. But it's interesting how because of course, the fire isn't on their floor yet, right? That's what he checks. He tests the door and it's all right. He's just smelling the smoke coming up. So it's interesting. So of course, obviously the people on wherever the fire started, and see, this whole entire thing is sort of interesting in that sense. So I'm like, again, we don't know how big this apartment building is, but it's obviously several floors. You would think that, again, even without the smoke detector, you think wherever the fire started, people would be more likely to hear, smell, see something. Like out of an entire floor of people, it's very that none of them had sort of gotten going. But regardless, that's fine. I'm like, again, people...
That's what the spell's for?
Well, I was going to say, but it was only on that floor. It's not the whole building.
You don't know that. He didn't get off on other floars.
He came up from he entered the thing,
it wasn't
though.
In the lobby.
He traveled the elevator up or whatever. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But obviously, people die in fires all the time, and they didn't wake up in time to hear or see anything going on. So obviously, that's not entirely. But the one thing I find a little bit interesting is that once he does, like you say, the whole building starts waking up, and I get people start investigating what woke me up, and especially when kids. But it's like you don't suddenly then hear 3 floors down people yelling fire. Why did the rest of the building start, other than the fact that he could smell a bit of smoke, maybe that was the same thing people started. But it's just kind of funny that way, that it's just you say everybody wakes up calmly and just starts going before they even realize what I'm like, you wake me up at 3 in the morning and
Harry says specifically that anyone in, this Tornado Valley hall,
storm
whatever,
warning
they
thing.
know what the storm warning is. So you hear this sort of alarm
but
system
this
going. You're
isn't-
like, okay, go.
And maybe it's just automatic reaction, because I was going to say, this is not the alarm sounding. This is a dog barking. Like,
But
it sounds
it's
different
at
from the...
a tempo that you recognize and understand. I mean, dogs howl to fucking sirens all the time. They get pretty close. Those dogs are really good at it, okay?
Okay, but not to the... I mean, yes, maybe that's all it is. Maybe it is just that ingrained practice of something's going on.
When I was in New York, our hotel caught fire, and I slept through the whole thing. I slept through the alarms going off in the building, I slept through the people knocking on the door, and I slept through the people then knocking on the door again to tell us everything's fine.
Lucky for you.
The whole time my roommate woke up and responded and got all the information, decided, well, she doesn't need to be awake, so I'll leave her alone.
Nice. Okay, but that's a very special case. Most people don't sleep like you do. Most people aren't as constantly sleep deprived as you in order to need that much sleep and whatever else contributes to that. However,
My point is, though, is that it's not a lot of room for confusion. You know what to do in a fire. Get out. So,
I know my point is just that nobody knows it's a fire yet.
Oh, wow.
That was my only point. That was my only point.
I just think, whatever. You hear an alarm, you hear an alarm. Who cares? Most times you hear a fire alarm, there isn't a fire. It's just a mistake, a drill.
Well, and that's the thing.
You still respond in general. You're like, okay, go outside, evacuate, or get under the table if it's a storm warning, or...
Man, can I just say to you, I've been... No current events. I've just been watching Quantum Leap. This is a fabulous show that I loved when I was a wee youngin' and it was on originally. And so, yeah, rewatching it. And it's really funny because one of the ones he just went to was in the middle of, like, the Cuban Missile Crisis. And the family he jumps into he's the brother of this guy who sells, like bomb shelters. And it's just funny, right? Because he's like, none of this is going to, like, I mean, on the one hand, he's like, everybody just calm your shit. We're not going to get blown up, because obviously he knows. But at the same time, everyone's like, you don't know what the future's going to hold. And it's just hilarious. I mean,
God, I would hate that guy.
Yeah, right? Just so
Trust me,
unequivocally
guys.
optimistic. And it's not funny in the sense that I can only imagine how concerning it would have been to live through that time. I mean, concerning enough with some of our own shit going on now, right? However, in hindsight and all that, where
When we go to war with you, America, I will think of you.
But it's like the little kids are watching like a TV commercial, and this family's like going out for a picnic, and they're like, if you hear the sirens, remember, it's like, basically stop, drop, and roll, and you'll be safe from this atomic, you know what I mean? It's literally this family having a picnic, and they're like, stop, and they literally like whip up the picnic blanket, and they all hide underneath it. And I'm like, I get you're trying to tell the people something. Yet nobody wants you to go on and say, you're all dead no matter what. There is no hope. But at the same time, right, it's just like...
A picnic blanket.
Yeah! Right? And I mean, like, even like you say, you're like, even like, and of course when the guy, like, again, the dad's trying to like sell these shelters and they have their own installed and everything like that, right? And they've got like their radiation-proof lead-lined ponchos and their gas masks and their, and it was like all of that is probably not going to help you anyways. But I mean, at least that when you feel like you've got like a concrete barrier around you or something, maybe. But yeah, literally to be like wherever you are, just grab it, like exactly duck under your desk, throw the picnic blanket over your head. Like, seriously, I think the dad's a couple feet away and he's got like the newspaper over his head, and like mom and the kids are under this probably plastic, you know what I mean? It's just like...
Sucks to be all you people that did bring a blanket and newspaper.
I was just gonna say, I was like, they're talking about these huge bombs, nuclear, and I was like, were people comforted by the fact that they were like, just, I'll
I think
hide
even
under
more like being a kid and being caught out in a storm and being like, wait, are we supposed to hide under trees or not hide under trees?
Yeah, right. Am I gonna get struck by lightning more or less if I... Yeah. Anyways, but yes, that was my only point, was just that several floors above, before anybody can tell for sure that that's what is going on.
That's the power of mouse.
They've been awakened.
Get it together and go.
But I was going to say, because I can remember a few years ago, a coworker, complaining that the fire alarms kept going off in the middle of the night, and like for like the third, fourth day, and finally she's like, I'm not even going, like, do I have to? Because again, she lived on like the fucking 14th floor downtown.
You get desensitized to it. That's how they get you, ass.
That's how they get you. But yeah, exactly, right? But she lived on like the 14th floor, downtown. So she's like, I'm not walking all the way up and down these frickin' stairs and everything. Like, that's 14 flights is a lot of frickin' stairs. So I'm just surprised at everybody, like, immediately, and they weren't taking a moment to be like, what woke me up? What is going on?
I think that's literally, though, like, implied by the power of mouse, though, is that everyone just gets it. It's not a drill. You go.
I guess. I was like, I assumed it just woke people up. I didn't realize it imparted, like, everything else.
No, I think it imparted, like, this sort of, like, calm,
go before you realize what's going on.
Because this sleeping spell, so be it, is kind of more of like a meditation spell. It didn't necessarily send you to sleep, but it kept everyone just relaxed and chill and, you know,
I was going to say, what about
mind
the
your
night
own
owls
business,
like us that
don't
are like...
listen to the other, you know, don't listen through the walls, just like keep reading your book or watching your show.
I was going to say, if you're already watching Quantum Leap at 3 o'clock in the morning and someone hands you a warm cup of milk, I'm like, is that really any difference to you? I'm like, I'm still just as noticing or not noticing as the case may be, whatever is going on at 3 o'clock in the morning. So also thanks to Mouse, though, before they've even gotten that far, is he's immediately growling at the door. And Harry's like, somebody's waiting for us out there. And he's like, let's jump out the window. And he's like, like 4 floors? Like, I don't think so. It's going to be ugly. So we do know that, again, whoever, this is the moment. This is the other trap or scheme or whatever that, and it's I don't know, brilliant on their part or just really unfortunate because the whole point of tonight was to try and catch the bad guy. Elaine's setting up this trap that he's going to come kill Anna. Let's be here to catch him. Harry's like, oh my God, I think somebody's going after Anna. Either they're already there or I need to find out what they're keeping from me to find out. And now they're all like, oh my gosh, it's happening. There's somebody outside the door. And they're like, they can't just like open the door and be like, aha, gotcha. You know? They're like, well, we can't go out there. We're going to sneak and run away from this. It's like,
it's
I don't know.
Our plan that he walks into the apartment and loses all his magic.
Or
we
whatever.
have nothing if he doesn't do that.
Yeah, exactly, right? Because now you've got 2 full-fledged strong
and if he has a gun, we don't know what we'll do.
So, does it work retroactively? Like, does Harry have to exit the apartment and then be invited in? Or now that he knows he's a good guy, can Anna be like, I invite you in, and just zap, he gets all his magic back? Or is it like,
I think yes. I think if she said, okay, you're invited, he gets his magic back. But I think
then
if Elaine worked with Harry a few years ago and thinks that Harry's being possessed, she could be like, Harry has a gun. But she like literally didn't include that in her plans at all. She sucks. She's bad at her job. That was very, 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 say it with us, short-shrifted of her.
Was not well planned out. So, yeah, I don't know what... I mean, again, right? It's just like that script in your head when you want to have an argument with somebody and then they just don't follow the script and it fucks it all up. Or, you know, they just didn't... Like, I don't know what has gone wrong here, but the whole point of being like, and they're like, someone's outside the door, quick, pretend we're not...
I didn't get that somebody was outside the door, though, when Mouse growled. I thought Mouse was growling at the smoke.
I don't know. That's what Harry says. Because he's like, the fire stairs, Elaine, or Anna is like, they're not far.
Something's waiting for us.
Mouse continued staring at the door, growling in a steady rumble. Yeah, and he's like, something's waiting for us. So again, assuming Mouse and his spidey senses
so
are
they all
always
ran
on.
Because people started leaving their apartment. That's why bad guy ran and wasn't outside the door anymore.
And I understand why but their whole point was to try and catch this guy, and he's right there. And instead of opening the door and going, aha, we're ready for you, you're not sneaking up on us.
The dog ruined it for him.
They're all like, I mean, like, again, maybe they weren't expecting literally the building to burn down, and now they're like, we don't have time to stop and catch bad guy because now we have to warn everybody. It's just funny that this was the culmination.
Would have been a good moment.
He's apparently right there. Something's in the
wizards.
Two, this is my point. Yeah. It's like not even just one or other of them now. They've got each other for backup. They know they're not...
And this
the
is
element
my
of surprise.
Novella, White Knight. The full book coming soon.
You know, it's just, yes, the whole culmination. And now that they're there, instead of like whipping open the door and trying to catch him, and then they're just too busy. Oh, can we jump out the window?
You've convinced me. I agree. That would have been a good time.
Yeah, but they don't. And then Mouse does. And then, now he's definitely blown his cover that everybody is coming and he runs away.
So this whole like evacuating the building it serves one purpose and one purpose only, and it's to see Lorraine. Still having that stroke.
Apparently.
Oh yeah, also sorry guys, Tansenn's not here. She's still sick and dying.
Yeah.
We don't record
we'll put
this
that into
all
the top.
Same day.
She said she'd handle the end. Okay, sorry, Lorraine what?
Elaine. serves the purpose only to show that Elaine has some competency. Because almost nothing happens in this evacuation outside of just Elaine being able to perform a little bit of magic.
Cool magic.
She makes a barrier that living things can pass through.
That's not true. She also is awed and amazed that Harry has a temple dog. And yet again, everybody in the world knows what a temple dog is, except Harry. Because every time Mouse shows up and does something, people are like, where did you get a temple dog? Where did you get a temple dog? Where did you get a temple dog?
People in the know that are doing their homework.
And yet.
Notice how Anna Valmont did not know it was a temple dog. Oh, wait, that's not Anna Valmont. I don't know what's happening anymore.
Anna Ash?
He reuses the same 10 names.
It's Anna, not Anna, okay? That's your problem in there. It's so distinctly clear. So Anna and Lorraine are hanging out having the tea party.
I guess so. They might as well be. Everyone Harry knows each other, and they're all trying to kill him. So they're on the ground floor.
And she does do a cool bit of magic.
Yeah,
It's kind of neat. Well, yeah, because Harry's like, oh, do you have to wait to let people through? And then she's like, nah, I got it. He's like, ooh, I can do that on the fly.
But it will let living people through, including the bad guy. Jeez.
Unfortunately. But at least she doesn't have to stand there, so,
Okay, fine. They get to the ground floor. People are in the middle of sexcapades. Harry wants the costume. He's already got a collection going.
Apparently. So it's interesting how he says this because he's like, oh, I noticed, again, because I'm a private investigator. And I don't need an eidetic memory to remember. On this, I'm going to remember. But also, he looks around to see if red satin sheets and high heels are...
Talk about a third eye.
Oh, God. Please don't. But I'm like, are the high heels for you, Harry? Because he's like, I need to find out if I need to keep some on hand. And I was like, for yourself? Because you're not talking about the red satin, bathrobe the guy is in. You're
go
like,
to a man's apartment, and he's got the same outfit and, the same pair of heels, but, in 14 sizes. I knew the fantasy I wanted, okay? Please just dress accordingly.
Thankfully, though, bed sheets come in one size fits all, so...
Well, they don't, but hopefully he knows what size bed he has. Or you mean fitting the person?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you just got to have a red satin bed sheet around it.
Kind of famously, beds are different sizes.
Point being is if you just get a queen set of sheets, you're covered on pretty much whoever you want to wrap them in.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I wouldn't go with, the twin that way because those are dinky. But, yes. For the person, not for the bed.
No, I gotcha.
So he happens to see, as he's looking around, again, we joke about it, and I mean, Harry's throwing in his haha just because of, I would like to think that's not the only reason, because again, otherwise it makes Harry look like a really bad investigator, that the only reason he happened to be looking around and noticing who was around was in case anybody was, elf caught half-dressed. Not for the fact that, I don't know, you literally had a murderer outside your doorstep, maybe look around the crowd. You know what I mean?
Followed the murderer out the building, and then I forgot that's what you're doing.
Yeah, I just got, but yeah, exactly. You're like, yeah.
Ooh, sexy. I wish I broke into your apartment.
Right. Oops, I'm sorry. I thought this was Anna's house. My bad.
My bad. What floor are you again? No sleeping spell on your floor, huh?
Yeah, guys were awake. Yeah.
But yeah, okay, he took us off the Grey Cloak, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And of course, because we need more pages in this book, he just happens to be silhouetted.
So cool. It's a detective novel, okay?
It's very noir.
You've got to be silhouetted against emergency lights at least once a book.
At least once a book, yeah. And yeah, especially this early in the book, because... So yeah, I can tell you're my bad guy, but I can't tell who you are.
Chapter 13. Harry uses his intellect to tail after Greycoat. He obtains a chip of paint from the man's card to use it for later.
So Harry said in the last chapter, too, that part of the reason why he runs is because he wants to be able to run away and survive it, which made him able to breathe through the smoke, hopefully, and now be able to keep pace with this Grey Cloak and catch up after him. Okay, that's all fine. That's all dandy. I'm okay with that. It's the breaking down the parking garage bit that's actually cool and interesting.
It is,
You
actually.
wouldn't want your car to be trapped behind an attendant that you have to pay and slow you down, and you'd want to, like, drag them in there to have all these, like, curves.
Which I get,
and
but
things
also,
to-
let's face it, my thought when reading that was, when was the last time I saw a parking garage with a live attendant? Occasionally, above ground lots.
It doesn't matter. A regular arm is still going to keep
You'd
you
still
trapped
have to
in
do it, but I know. I'm just like, I don't know. You're a bad guy. You just drive through the arm like every other bad guy in a movie.
there. Jeez, let's go.
When you're actually being chased. But I understand other impediments to that, like just other traffic coming in and out of the building or whatever, something that, yes.
Yes, I like the
If you're like
idea.
everybody else and you get lost in the goddamn parking garage because it's so unclear about which is actually the exit one. Which
It
is
looks like
actually
you're
the
going
next
up, and then
level.
you realize you went down. It's not fair.
Yeah, and you're like, you told me to go this way for the exit, but I'm still going around in circles and I passed 3 levels. Yeah. But yes, it is a nice little bit of actual, investigative logic kind of a thing where Harry's like
Really flexing on Elaine now.
a little
He
bit.
was like,
yeah, it's like
I
when
just
she-
realized she's dumb. Let
she
me
wouldn't-
show how smart I am now.
Yeah, she wouldn't have thought about this. And thankfully,
thought about this.
this parking garage is like smushed in between some buildings or on a side lot where
Only 2 directions.
only 2 directions are really going to be functional.
I
so
thought of that. Sounds
thankfully,
like real convenient, Harry.
Right.
Butcher.
right. Just so happens that, it's got to be here or there. So, yes. But again, the guy does give away a little bit more in the fact that he jumps off the top of this 6-story parking structure. So again, not surprisingly, given some of the clues we've got already, but we can guarantee 100% check off not straight vanilla human here because Elaine wanted to jump out of like a 4th floor window and Harry's like, that could get messy. And this guy just like hidden tiger, crouching dragon jumps off, yes, I know, off the building thing and floats gently down to the ground. So, okay, we know for sure here something.
But I also really like the comment where he's like, a little bit of, glee at the thought that it could be a warden fucking around.
And it's kind of funny because it didn't, right? Because he's when he's sitting there and he's like, that thought process, like, which thought, and you think it's going to be like, which thought I found like terrifying or like pissed me off because like we're supposed to be the good guys and like I'm one now when and he's like, no, actually kind of comforting.
I would feel so vindicated if I caught one of these motherfuckers.
Right.
Skulking around.
And you're like, okay, fair. And I don't know, even this, when he's going through the guy's train of thought, and he's like, okay, so there's like 2 world-class wizards. I'm like, nobody got through the fucking door. This guy, how does this guy know there's 2 world-class? You left half your shit at the door. If they're sensing anything, they can't sense shit. You got nothing on you right now. Like, again, make up your mind. Either these people can, like, see through walls and get past thresholds, or they fucking can't, or they... I'm like, obviously, there's stuff going... Unless they, like, literally got their, like, ear to the door, but then they wouldn't
That's so
have
funny.
bothered-
Harry's like, let's do Occam's razor because it just makes everything easier. But there's like 10 assumptions, so he's like, we're going to do 2 at a time. I'm going to pick 2 random assumptions at a time and work off that, and then pick 2 new random assumptions. It's like Monty Python doors. It's like, as long as you keep changing the answer, it'll actually make us more statistically likely save your life. And it's working.
Just keep on going. And then we get the next straight kick up where he's like, jump out and bust this guy's jaw. And then he's like, but wait, maybe there's more information. And you're like, ugh. I get it. Part of me is like, yes, and part of me is like,
I'm
no.
like, who the fuck is this guy? Harry Blackstone Copperfield Dresden? No.
Fully thinking ahead and planning out and not just, but again, the other side. And I do like though, that by the end of it, before all this, he does acknowledge the fact. Because he still does say, my instinct is still to grab the guy. But anything else he does is on me. And I'm like, okay, yeah, good. Because we know there's going to be some other shit. It's, you make a really good point, and you're right. There probably is some other information you would find out here. But at the same time, because you didn't squash this guy like a bug the second you had it, that there is going to be some other shit. Something else is going to happen before you track him down again. Mm-hmm. And it is on you because you did let him go when you knew. So, yeah, that very...
But I do think the, breakdown and logic of, like, he probably has an organization or something to get back to is sound. I do think it's a sound theory because, I mean, with the limited information you have right now, it's literally just like, why are you kidnapping and killing all these women?
Well, and again, even for like one lone guy or 2 guys, if the Grey Cloak and the Pretty Man are not, in fact, the same person in different get-ups or whatever, that seems like a lot for you, like, again, in your own town, but to be moving around, again, that implies that there's more thought, more preparation, more... Right?
Which is even more why it's so suspicious of Elaine, because it's like the pretty guy wasn't there in the other towns either, so like... Why
Do we know? Because you only said that only on like a couple of occasions was the warden guy. So do we not then assume they made no mention of who the other pretty guy was?
knowing who the pretty guy is, he couldn't have been in those other towns, or why would he be in those other towns? Is what I'm saying. Is like it's just so many new information only in Chicago. So much new variables only in Chicago.
I guess. Yeah. At the same time, I'm like, there could be different pretty guys and different.
There can be more than one pretty guy in the world.
There can be, but yes, you're right. That it would then automatically lead to Thomas in Chicago makes it. Then yes, it means either somebody else, one of Thomas's family members or something, cousins is, and he's just playing the part here, or exactly he has. Although,
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Although, in all fairness, Harry has seen very little, and seen very little. For all he knows, Thomas has been bouncing around to other towns and stuff. Regardless, but yes.
Yep.
Fair enough. We don't know. Yeah, they haven't really said much. They only said on a couple, at least 2 instances every time was the warden, cloak guy person. I guess sometimes logic does work. Fuck. At least he doesn't let him get away.
But yeah, the way he tracks the car is all fine and dandy, fine, whatever. He throws out a couple more spells here, new things that we haven't heard before. Gets a fucking
Or different
paint chipping,
uses
yeah.
of the things.
That's
yeah.
all fine and dandy. Harry Dresden, of all people, having a matchbox on him seems like the most wasted thing in the universe.
Right.
I get he couldn't light his candles for a minute there, but still.
But we're
bro.
past that part now, and you're still carrying around.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, sometimes I don't empty out my purse for a couple of months at a time or whatever, and then I just have to do one big overhaul, but still, I'm like, you needing matches is crazy.
I was going to say, he's like, well, he keeps walking through people's thresholds. So he's like, I don't know, maybe Anna will have candles she needs lit. And I just left on my magic.
Consider a guy.
Even though Anna's probably like low skill enough that she has actual electricity, but I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. Yeah. Yes, actually, yes, that was funny. That although he apparently has like absolutely no qualms about just dumping them all out. So I guess maybe
I know, yeah, he
he's
thought
like,
the same thing.
He's like, I didn't need the match. He's like, it was just the container that was cool.
Some complimentary bar handed them out or something, and he's like,
Well, if you know, see, waterproof matches should be in a okay. So
survival kit.
exactly, back in like 4th grade, we had to make our own little survival kits for like our geography teacher, and my dad actually had this really cool. Gold looking, I don't know, probably brass or something, whatever it was. Little metal container with like a click top lid. I just thought it was the coolest thing. And anyways, yes, it was a waterproof container to hold like what, but it was nice and fancy because it was like old as fuck. And I remember I didn't want to give that back for the longest time. I just wanted to live in my little, but so I could see again, right? So your ordinary paper box of matches isn't going to do shit because there's no point in having like waterproof matches and stuff like that if your whole thing is just going to get wet and whatever. So I'm thinking it's got to be at least like but that's, the only reason is maybe that it's just kind of a cool little container for things like this. He just doesn't bother getting rid of the matches yet. He didn't have anything gold in it. But
Still free of matches.
But again, yes, completely ironic or whatever that the guy that
just like
constantly uses his flick'em-bickem spell for like anything and everything. It's like, I also have some waterproof matches. I don't know, maybe it's just in case it's a damp. If it's raining really hard, he can't do his flick'em-bickem spell, so there's enough running water going on
there you go. Finally an answer. You know how often toads rain from the sky in this place?
I mean, it's Chicago. They're right next to a big body of water. Like, I don't know, maybe you get lots of heavy rainfall. That is, I don't know.
Whatever. Not a lot is accomplished here. Anna's like really insistent that she goes checks on the rest of the order, which is like responsible of her.
Kind of fair, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, fine, do that. And Elaine's going to go with her. Fine, responsible. Yeah, she's hired by you. Fine. I do respect that. Elaine being like, I'm literally hired by them, so I got to do what they say.
Yeah.
Sure, fine, whatever. But yeah, I don't know, just a very, honestly, really a nothing chapter. Not a lot happens.
Mostly
here,
a nothing chapter, no. It is kind of funny when he's like, take her to your hotel, keep it. And Anna's like, no. And he's like, we're just going to have a quiet night at home. But again, it's kind of funny because, again, it's almost, counterintuitive to Harry a lot of the time. Like, okay, I get this is the immediate situation. She was the immediate target right now. But exactly, like, normally you're the one, like, I got to go make sure everyone is safe. Like, I talked to Sheila once this book. I better go to her door and make sure the bad guys haven't tracked her down. Even though there's no reason to just randomly track this one person I had a conversation with in a bookstore. I didn't go check all the other people that were in the bookstore, but I'm going to, you know what I mean? Whereas here, he's just like, whatever. But I'm like, again, it doesn't make, like, she's like, I'm like, it still makes sense. You go to the hotel room and call everybody and have everybody come to the, like, again, right? She's like, I'm not going with her. And it's like, well, that is the best place to go, right?
Everyone in books is always so eager to, like, travel around their cities.
Oh, God, I know, right? You're like, I don't want to
come and
go.
gone from his apartment 4 times today, and I'm like,
Once I get home, I'm not leaving again.
I know things are important right now, but, like, just call me at the hotel, damn.
Right?
Can we all meet at one spot instead of me coming to 14 locations? Jeez.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Even when it's like, I mean, we just had something a few minutes ago where it was like someone needed to get, we're like literally 10 minutes and I'm like, oh, do I have to drive over and come back? It's going to take like 20 minutes by the time I go there. And yeah, it literally is like a 10-minute drive from here and back.
I save so much money because I'm just not willing. I'll get home and starve before I leave my house again. Like, I'm home.
Yeah, no,
sorry.
100%. So many. Doesn't matter how close it is or whatever. It's just like, no, once I pass that threshold, it's like my magic doesn't go. It's just my will to live and do anything. I can stop at that
I work at a 7-Eleven. This has come up multiple times. Everybody knows I work at a 7-Eleven. We get Uber Order Eats constantly for like one Slurpee. One bag of chips. I'm like, you're seriously going to pay like $15 for one Slurpee just because you don't have to come here? And I can't see their addresses, technically. Technically, I don't know where people live. That's for the driver only to know. However, a lot of the times the drivers will say, can you believe this guy lives right there? And they point across the street.
Yeah.
They're like, he literally lives 1 kilometer away. And I'm like, I get like to a certain degree if you're sick or, I don't know, have kids at home or low mobility. Reasons like that I could get. But the amount of orders I get, I'm like, it cannot apply to all of you.
Yeah, you know there's just some lazy motherfucker that just cannot.
And there's also so many that, like, you can order through 7-Eleven's app, right? Mm-hmm. And when I scan your points in the store, I see your username or your name or whatever. And when you order through the app, it's the same name. And I'm like, I know who you are. And I know where you live. I know you're literally right there. Like,
I know. You're like such a regular customer that I chat to.
Like my 7-Eleven is surrounded by like 20 apartment buildings. Like basically like it's a million. Like we're just in the center of a bunch of apartment buildings, right? So almost everyone lives, there's like 5,000 people living on one block.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
They're all right there. I know they all live in that apartment building. I'm like, yeah, you don't want to come down like 10 floors, flights of stairs, and you're just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Let them do it. It's just so funny though, because I'm all the time. I'm just like,
see, I know where you live. I know you're right there. I just more often go with it. Because again, I'm like, I am not paying $15 for a Slurpee. Yeah. No fucking way. Even if I could like afford that. And I'm pretty sure I just... So yeah, it's funny because I have literally had that too, where I have like I'm going through and I'm like, oh, there's still like half a packet of crackers. How stale are these? Yeah. No, I can eat these. That'll get me through. So I have to go out tomorrow. So then I will stop and get food. I don't have to go out.
Those hard candies I haven't wanted to eat since Halloween. Guess what, guys? Your time has come. It's not worth it.
Yeah. Now it's yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he takes some house, and this is the other cool part. Goes home to Little Chicago. We get to see some more cool stuff. Little Chicago didn't disappear after one use. Yes!
That is cool. Yeah.
Yes. It's no blending potion for you, Little Chicago. I was wondering about it, though. I mean, he goes over it a bit when he talks about it in the next one. But he reiterates how he has had to take a little piece of everything to make that. And I don't remember if we touched on this the first time we were talking about him. We're like, how much work and effort it would be to have this all. But he says that, again, he has a lot of the pieces made for him. Does he go in there with his, like, chip of brick and be like, so I want you to make this building. By the way, you have to include... Or does he just do that shit afterwards
We talked about that last book. But yeah, I would say he probably does that at home. Because explaining it that many times and having them keep track of it is, like,
I was going to say, unless you're doing, like, each individual... Yeah, I was going to say,
yeah, like... one commission at a time, but...
Yeah, right. Yeah. This leaf goes in this tree. Thanks, bro. I'll be back in. So I was going to say, I mean, once you're in there regularly enough, you wouldn't necessarily have to explain it each and every... But exactly, but the keeping it all... And for them to... And to trust that they're not just, like, fucking psycho. Oh, yeah. Because, Jessica would be like that. Jessica would be like, after the first 10 times... This is like her 7-Eleven orders, right?
You have zero trust in me at all.
No. It's because you've explicitly said... It's not a trusting. It's not a trusting. Jessica's like, people go, what did you tell me the other day? You didn't unlock the doors because you didn't want to get this person a cup of water or something? You're like, we're out of water. Like, I don't know. It was something just recently where it was like some shit like that.
It wouldn't have been that. But yeah, like, there's certain people I don't want to deal with because I know they bring drama. And I'm like, it's not worth your $2 coffee. to deal with you being on some sort of fucking high that's gonna.
Yeah, but
disrupt my
I
evening for an
swear
hour.
there, because I know there's, but anyways, but yeah, exactly, where you're just again, the rules say we have to do this, and you're like, that's stupid, I never do it. I keep all the lighters.
efficiency.
Exactly. But yeah, exactly where you'd be like, this guy comes in all the fucking time for me to make his fucking figures, and he always wants me to stick like some fucking grain of sand and some. I'm like, I don't have time for that shit. The guy's like whatever. I just or it's like I lost this piece of sand, so I just picked one up off the bottom of my shoe and stuck. So he's trying to teleport to 51st Street.
Listen,
he's ending up at Jessica's 7-Eleven because she just stuck a piece of gravel.
I'd be so pissed off if I was Harry. I'd be at that, I don't know, model maker's house killing.
Hey, Zara, who fucked up my shit? You didn't put the right piece of.
That'd be so funny. But no, I think it'd be more of that, there's this viral post on the internet of some guy's dad or whatever that, made a map of Scotland with rocks from those parts of Scotland. Specifically spent 20, 30 years collecting rocks that are geographically accurate to the different parts of Scotland, and that were the right shape and size to accurately depict that area of the map of
Right,
Scotland.
so his Alberta-shaped rock and whatever,
And it's very cool. It's a very cool piece. It's, I don't know, looking at it, I'm going to guess maybe 150 rocks or something like that make up this map or something. I don't know. And I get, telling that endeavor to people. People are going to be like, yeah, I don't want to cheat you on this. Let's
a
go
cool
find an
personal-
actual piece of
yeah.
limestone from the fucking North Sea or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bodies of water around Scotland. They touch a sea, and one of them's in the north, so that cannot be wrong.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there, Jess.
So
Ireland, Scotland, UK, somewhere in
there's a
there.
strait somewhere,
Yeah.
and it's touching that. Point is that, again, people also that are, this whole new age palmistry, tarot reading, whatever, you could do sort of I need the vibes from this venue, so I need this confetti incorporated with this candle so that when I call
Remember
the
my
spirits up,
wedding,
whatever. And people, they get that. People just buy into that. Or not people who believe it, but people who are aware of it just be like, yeah, sure, fine, whatever. Let's put this confetti in your candle, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, to a certain point, they would accommodate it. But again, I think just for simplicity's sake, I'd be like, okay, while you build this, I'm going to go fucking take my leaf pressings and write down every street corner I picked them up from. And when I get home, I'll just incorporate it myself, because I think that'd be honestly just easier for Dresden to just be that meticulous himself and just...
I feel like it just, depends on how do they, you see now drilling out the cores of all these, hey,
It's like people who do their own train models and Lego cities and things like that, right? That's part of the fun.
Yeah.
He's just slowly gluing grains of sand into the street. And he's like, yeah, this is gonna be fucking sick.
Which brings me to my next question about that, because he did this last book and this book too. So obviously one of the easiest, biggest, flattest areas is to dump Bob in the lake. Because that's where we keep sending Bob down to look. But he says it's like a translucent blue plastic, something like that. So here's my question. Does he just have a grain of sand or something from Lake Michigan? Or does he have a drop of water preserved in between sheets of this, right? Because he's the bark of the tree and the thing of do you need water from the lake to represent the water from the lake? And do you have somewhere in there?
How fucking pissed off would you be if you have this beautiful, magical fucking city of Chicago and somebody pours water on it?
That's what I mean. He's not pouring it all over.
No, I don't think he has any water, okay?
He just needs a droplet.
I would
he
get
can have it
sand
preserved.
or dirt or whatever from the harbor, and sand and dirt or whatever from the island, and I'd be like, okay, that covers it. If anything's in the middle of this, I don't give a shit. I'm not diving for lost treasure anymore.
Okay, I mean, it's not like you have to dive to get a drop of water, and it comes to the top, Jessica.
Famously,
he got a wet piece of sand.
the water is at water level.
All those things you see. I mean, I'm sure everywhere in the world, I remember people commenting it. Some guy was some Vancouver, whatever, and they're standing there, how far above sea level are we? 2 feet? It's see that sea right there? Yeah, that's how far above we are.
What do you mean it all just levels out on the whole world? That can't possibly be.
I don't get it. That sounds like some kind of witchcraft. I don't know. I don't trust it. It's all just draining off the edge somewhere.
That's so funny. I'm going to Google what sea level Venice is at.
But when I was riding in those gondolas, was I actually?
Yeah, I don't believe it. I don't trust it.
It's at the top of a mountain, right?
Probably.
Man, it was crazy. Some random thing that popped up. Oh, no, it wasn't a random thing. A nephew posted it. I don't know if you went and saw the Mount Vesuvius thingy that he posted in the chat, but I did actually watch the video, and it was kind of actually interesting. And it was just funny seeing how, like, everybody, like, for the longest time, everyone's like, oh, it happened in, like, August or something, because that's when, like, the dude wrote it down or whatever. And then they're like, no, we can tell, because there's, like, again, when you didn't have freezers and refrigerators and stuff like that, it was like the shit that was in season. And so, you know, you can tell by all the shit that was found in the Arctic and stuff like that. But, yeah, it was.
What's that? Veridical? Vertical. It's, like, historically agreed upon. Like, we don't have, or like, we all acknowledge that we can't technically know exactly how this went down, but it's veridically accurate. We're all just going to agree that this is how it went down so we can move past point A and just start on point B.
Gotcha.
It's like, you know, like Confucius, you know, he died like hundreds of years before anyone wrote down any of his thoughts. But we have to start somewhere, so we're like, veridically accurate. These are Confucius's thoughts. Okay, now let's move on.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, a term I was not familiar with. Yeah, there was a certain amount of that, but it really was just saying, like, how noticeable it would have, you know, because they're like, everyone just like almost saw something that blew up and then like just everybody instantly. But it was both interesting and slightly horrific and stuff like that to actually lay out more of the, you know, that there would have been like a first eruption and then like another eruption and then like how much stuff happened instantly. And then they're like, how much, like, why didn't anybody go and stay? And he's like, you know what? Actually, there is a thing. They did go, but there was so much like smoke and ash that the rescue efforts also got like, you know what I mean? It was just like, oh man, crazy. Because again, I'm not a historian. It's not something I've ever really, familiar with the story. And, you know, again, the preserved things and stuff like that from it. But then, yeah, just to have more of it laid out, it was like, this is not, I don't want to know this. This is like having, I just want to be like, boom, it was instant. Nobody had a chance. It was all just, nobody saw it, you know?
Mike Mullen has a trilogy called Ashen, and it's about what will happen if Yellowstone erupts in our lifetime or whatever, or like with the way the world is right now.
Yeah.
And it's very cool. It's interesting. It's like, yeah, basically, like, his character is set kind of right where, you know, far enough out of impact, he wasn't, like, immediately incinerated, but still within that, like, emergency services are not getting to him anytime soon, and he's got a basically apocalyptic world for this section of America that's just got to figure it out and start over from the ashes.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's, like, the first several days is just, like, ash raining from the sky. You can't see anything. It's so foggy, and it's really just ash raining from the sky.
Yeah, and it's just like, damn. Yeah. It's, like, was crazy. It was... And kudos, I apologize, I don't remember his name, but kudos to the guy that did the video. Apparently he does these little history things. And I'm like, oh, it was kind of cool and interesting, but yeah.
Hey guys, Tansenn's going to be sitting this one out as well. She's still not feeling good, so sorry and good luck. And we'll try to stay more on topic with the chapters.
So on topic that absolutely nothing happens in these 2 chapters, and we're done in 30 minutes.
There's almost nothing.
Gee, if only we had saved another chapter
say about these chapters, and yet somehow it's going to be a 15-minute episode, I'm sure.
This concludes our episode 18.6 with the real dog tempo. Please back up. Thank you for listening. You can find us online at freeflowrambling.com and McAnallys.ca. There we have links to our other podcasts, social media, and other fun tidbits. Please subscribe if you like what you're hearing, and please consider supporting us through Patreon to keep the magic alive and to see more content. We are Free Flow Rambling. Conjure by it at your own risk.